However, I've been focused on putting a message forward for the last year or so, and I'm going to continue until it proves that I need to change it in some way. But I've been saying, look, there are 5 things people need to take care of in their lives. The 5 top causes of inflammation in human existence, human society these days, and I'm talking Western society here. If we can take care of those 5 with some hacks, some interventions, that reduces a person's chronic systemic inflammation overburden to probably the 95th percentile.
And what are those 5, Bart, for those of us who haven't been paying attention?
Well, the 5 are, if you like, a 100% carnivorous diet. The second one is a range of nutraceutical, supplemental products from a company called Sorrel, with whom I'm joint ventured. And the products are involved in promoting the release of adult stem cells to the bloodstream and in reducing inflammation directly by another product which knocks down 2 separate pro-inflammatory pathways, the 2 that are most commonly activated in humans, as it were. All natural, not pharmacological, actually derived from blue-green cyanobac mostly. 1 or 2 plant extracts as well in the product. I know, crucify me, but plant extracts are fine. Actually, we've been using them for millennia for medicinal and nutraceutical purpose. What I'm warning people against is eating whole plants, because they contain the toxins and things that will mess you up good. If you're interested in learning more about that, there's a link which I'll put underneath this video. You can go straight there, basically, and it shows you the product, and it's got all the research linked there as well. There's also a shop there. You can just go ahead and buy it. Number 3 is to ground yourself electrically, which sounds like hairy-legged, crystal-waving, woo-woo, Sadhguru stuff, doesn't it? And when I first heard it, I thought, what are you on? The person who told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? Ground yourself electrically? Are you nuts? Do you want me to start waving crystals around as well and all of that? Turns out there's really good science behind it. I was wrong. There you go, everybody. Write it down. There's an example of once when I was wrong. There was this other occasion that I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. So all of that said.
Yeah, just to quickly follow up on that, I mean, everyone should know that we are bioelectric beings.
Yes.
And therefore, the fact that we need to ground ourselves like any electrical appliance.
Yes.
Makes sense.
It seems, and there are those who are arguing from the pure and applied physics perspective, that our very existence is in fact an electromagnetic phenomenon. We are electromagnetic beings. We evolved electrically connected to the earth with our bare skin against it. The soles of our feet mostly. We also slept on the ground in caves on not very well insulated sort of things. We didn't build buildings and live in those that were insulated electrically. We certainly didn't have shoes with rubber soles on our feet. We didn't drive around in cars with rubber tires all the time and work in buildings that are similarly electrically insulated. It is unnatural for us to be electrically disconnected. The result of it is actually oxidative damage. It turns out that if you are electrically connected to the earth, you can absorb electrons from the earth directly into your body from the earth. And those electrons seek out, find and replace, i.e. plug holes left in oxidatively damaged tissues, etc. by basically saying, well, here's your electron. Came straight from the earth. We absorbed it into our body. Well, look, there's a hole. Goes in there, sorts the problem out. So that's actually the evolutionary design for antioxidant effect. That, and we've got a suite of antioxidant enzymes, molecules, a master suite of antioxidants that we actually produce ourselves. It was never a biological design for us to gain antioxidant effect nutritionally from plants. Never. Not in our history as a species. We are supposed to get our antioxidant effect largely from being grounded to the earth. There are also a bunch of other benefits to being grounded, some of which occur immediately, and I'm not going to go through them because of time, but there is a video on my channel called In 5 Minutes or Less, and it's all about the studies that support this thing, or purport to at least. But I'll give you one example just for fun. The second you are electrically grounded to Mother Earth, the effective viscosity, thickness of your blood decreases, your blood gets thinner, by a factor of 3.
That's so fascinating.
That's incredible, isn't it? So effectively, you're reducing the work required of your cardiac tissue, your heart, to pump blood around your body, all else being equal with vagal tone, etc. You're saying to the heart now, okay, this fluid is now a third as thick as it was before. Enjoy. Much easier work.
And it makes sense when you think about, again, the role of blood as a conduit for electrolytes and the bioelectric system and so on. There's some logic there, but I'd be fascinated to learn more about that.
Yep, we'll go and have a look at that video in 5 minutes or less. I think there are something like 19 different studies which get splashed up on that screen, Mick the Vegan style, with no real discussion, of course, because that's what you do. You just say, look, here's a paper, and here's another one, and look, here's another paper. And it's very exciting. But certainly you can go and read all those papers and go, oh, that's interesting. Expedited wound healing, normalization of aberrant cortisol profiles, increased delta and decreased alpha brainwave activity. I could go on.
Yeah.
So grounding is a great thing. You should be grounded to the earth. The fourth of the 5 is to block blue wavelengths of light, especially artificially produced ones, from your eyes. So once the sun has gone down below the horizon, it's nighttime. You should not be looking at blue things, usually the cause of which is artificial lighting, computer screens, television screens, all of that. The easiest way to achieve it is to put on blue blocking dark amber coloured lenses. Not clear ones, not ones that purport to be these computer glasses that don't distort your colour vision but block blue. Well, that's interesting, because if you block blue, that distorts the colour spectrum. And what you will see is amber for the wavelengths that need to be blocked. For net negative colour is amber, dark amber, not clear. If you put on these clear glasses and you can still see blue, it's not fucking blocked, is it? Okay, so I'd get that done. Questions on that?
Can I play devil's advocate on that one? Because but what I've heard secondhand through other so-called experts on the internet is maybe that matters a little bit, but what matters more is getting a good dose of your blue light sunlight when it's actually out.
Sure.
And if you do that properly, the studies that purport to show a benefit from these lenses were often done with, college students who were kept away from the sun all day. And then this blue light blocking thing seemed to make a difference in sleep quality and sleep wavelengths, and I don't know what all they measured.
Yeah.
But if you're a normal human and you're making an effort to get out in the day, that probably matters a lot less.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And step number 5, that is on my list of things that I usually say to people, here's what you need to think about and pay attention to, is the right amount of the right kind of exercise at the right intensity, the right number of times per week.
And you're going to tell me exactly what that is for everybody.
Right, high intensity burst repeat activity and or resistance training, whole body split 3 or 4 times a week, in other words, every other day, 30 to 45 minutes from start to finish at or, close to your absolute maximal effort. No moderate zone activity, really get after it for 30 to 45 minutes every other day. That seems to have massive effects on inflammation and etc.
And the way that you've said that, it could be lifting heavy things or it could be something like sprinting.
Absolutely, yes, either or.
Okay.
Yes, but not both on the same day.
Certainly you don't want to do both on the same day. Well, I suppose you could do upper body and sprints on the same day if you wanted to, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I'm usually purporting to most people, for most intents and purposes, that a whole body split is the best way to go in the gym. So you wouldn't have an upper body split or a lower body split or a push-pull day or anything like that. You're doing every muscle group in your body with a single activity of very high intensity. Probably 2, if you're talking resistance training, probably 2 working sets only, 6 to 8 repetitions with the heaviest weight possible that you can lift that many times. And what I would also usually do is superset those. So you'd probably have 10 to 12 exercises on any given day. You'd start at the top of your list and work your way sequentially down the list, 1 set, and then you'd go to the top of the list and repeat.
Cool. And then you're done.
No sitting on the bench, no sipping water, no looking at who looks good in Lycra, none of that. You're in there to get this done and then get the hell out of there.